Wolverine in the Secret Sanctuary. Let's take a look. Hey statue collectors, as most of you know, Wolverine first appeared in Incredible Hulk number 181 back in November of 1974. I was collecting comics back then, but I hadn't evolved yet into superhero comics. I was still riding my bike down to 7-Eleven and picking up the latest Richie Rich or Archie. So I missed out on Hulk 181, which is a bummer because for the initial investment of 25 cents, the nicest copies today sell for between $20,000 and $25,000. So he's become quite the massive character in the Marvel Universe. I first saw this piece in San Diego last year at Comic-Con. At that time it was unpainted, and to be honest, it wasn't getting a lot of attention in the convention hall. That was the year of Sideshow's Red Sonja, which just shipped. To much acclaim. That's a beautiful statue. If you don't have it, I encourage you to pick it up. And also people that year were excited about the new Swamp Thing maquette before we all knew that it was made out of vinyl, and that turned off a lot of people. But this guy, sitting unpainted, kind of off by himself, didn't get a lot of attention. And to me, that's a testimony to how important paint is to a piece. It really brings it alive. To me. So there's been a lot of talk about this piece over the past year. We had the leaning thing. Is it leaning? Is it not leaning? And I believe they restructured the base. They did some stuff, and the good news is there's no lean. And there's not much bad I'm going to be saying about this statue. I have a tiny flaw on mine. I'll show you a close-up of that. Probably not enough to do anything about it, but always annoying. What are you going to do? No statue is 100% perfect. But you don't want to look at it from the distance, so let's do some close-ups. I'm going to start with the exclusive portrait because I think this is what really grabbed everyone's attention when this statue first appeared painted, I think at New York Comic-Con last year. Everybody was instantly wowed by this exclusive portrait, and you can see why. It really is very impressive from all angles. Some people were concerned about the teeth, so I'm going to try to go a little bit closer without getting out of focus. And you can see, in my opinion anyway, there's really no issue with the teeth. I think they look pretty darn great. Do a 360 here. Some people don't like the way his mask looks, kind of bunched up behind his head here. I think it's fine. It actually looks kind of cool from the top, where you can see, you know, the islets and stuff. Yeah, it looks neat. If you can look at the hair on his arms, there was also concern about this because it looked really good on the prototype, and people were concerned that it might not translate all that well to the production piece. But I think it looks really good. No problem at all. The claws appear to be metal, pretty darn sharp. They are kind of a matte rather than a shiny metal, which I think is fine, doesn't bother me. One thing I like about these claws compared to some other Wolverine statues is they're not enormous. Some Wolverine statues, he's just got these absolutely incredibly long claws that you know, he'd be tripping over in real life. But these are a good length. I like them a lot. The musculature, look at that. I think it looks great. Super nice. About the base, some people have been talking about on the boards that they've had problems inserting the figure, the Wolverine figure, into the base. I did not have that problem. It's a one peg statue. That back foot has a peg, and the front foot just rests on that finger right there. But I just concentrated on getting that post as carefully as I could into the base without worrying too much about where the front foot was. and I had no problems. It slid right in. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. It slid most of the way in, and then I did press down with my thumb, but not that hard, and it went right in with no problem. I like the weathering on the shoes. I think that looks cool. And even on the stripes here, you can see it's not perfectly yellow. There's some dirt there, which has a good effect to it. Really cool base. I know that the Sentinel base is something common with X-Men statues, but this is my first one, and I think it looks great. I like the color of the blue as well. This is also my first Wolverine statue, so I'm a bit smitten. It's pretty cool. I like the rock beneath. Looks good. There's also dirt on his knee pads here. Some people don't like these knee pads and that they're a different color. It's not that they're really a different color, it's that they're dirty, which makes sense. Try to go with an upshot here. Pretty nice. Very ferocious. All right, I'm going to switch to the regular head. Okay, here's the regular portrait. And you know what? I'm going to be using both portraits on this statue. I like them both a lot. You get more ferociousness out of the unmasked portrait because you get the eyes, but this one has it too. This one looks great. The only concern people have expressed, and it wasn't necessarily with, well, it was with the first production photos that we saw. And they were very blurry images taken by a collector. And there was concern about his mutton chops kind of blending in with the black of the mask and it all looking like one big lump of black rather than distinctly showing the mutton chops. And I think that was just a bad camera. As you can see, it's not a big blotchy mess. It looks good. And again, another view of the teeth. I think they look pretty darn good. Way better than the Hulk Wolverine maquette. I have no concerns about the teeth. The question is, do I pose him next to the Hulk maquette, or do I put him with Jean Grey? Tough call. What do you guys think? I don't have a lot of Marvel pieces. I've got Cap, I've got Cable, but as far as characters associated with Wolverine, it's pretty much Jean Grey or the Hulk. Give you a little more look at the base. Really nicely done, really good weathering. Okay, let me show you that tiny defect I have on mine. I don't know if it's mist paint. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Or a scratch, but right there, you can see it. So it's so tiny, and it's on the back of the arm. So there's that classic dilemma. Do you expect a perfect statue and do something about it, or do you just accept that that every statue has its imperfections and move on? I had to send for a replacement portrait for Thanos on Throne, but overall I've had pretty good luck with Sideshow. And overall, I'm very pleased with this piece. It's a keeper. It's going to look really good in my collection. Thought I'd give you a look at the box. The shipper is pretty small. I heard that the Red Sonja shipper was enormous. But this one's quite small, maybe on par with some of the ladies from Sideshow, like Huntress or Batgirl, something like that. So it's not going to take up as much room as some of the bigger pieces. The art box, the art is pretty cool. with the claw marks on the front, and you see a giant X here. The back just has the same X without the claw marks. I will say that this is inside the shipper without styrofoam corner protectors, which always worries me, but it does allow them to put it in a smaller shipper, which is nice. Anyway, that's the box. The statue itself, I think the whole box with the statue was only like 19 pounds, if the UPS tracking was correct. So it's not a super heavy piece. Wolverine, you know, most of you know if you read the comics, Wolverine's only supposed to be like 5'2", 5'3". Whereas, you know, Hugh Jackman is what, 6'3", 6'4". So if your idea of Wolverine is Hugh Jackman, then you're going to have you might think that this looks a bit small, but it is absolutely in scale. No doubt about it. This is a premium format figure. No doubt about it. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please like the review. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm looking forward to Comic-Con in just a few days. So if you see me there, I'll be at the Sideshow booth way too much, looking at the same piece over and over and over again, probably 5 different pieces. So if you see me, say hello. I'd love to talk to you guys. And I'll be back very soon. Gosh, it could be tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure. But very soon with Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. So that'll be very cool. So see you guys later. Have a good night. And I'll see you on the boards, and I'll see you on Facebook, and hopefully I'll see you at San Diego Comic-Con. Have a good night. Bye-bye.